Hey everyone, it's Sonia from Just Women's Business, and today I want to show you how you can edit your 5 free templates. Today we'll edit the font, we can change the wording, and we can change the color of the wording, and just a few tips and tricks how to upload photos into the photo grids. So first things first, I'll just X myself out. The templates are fairly easy to use. That's a square, which is what's called a photo placeholder. That's another square, 2 squares. This one's a little trickier, but I'll go through them. That one is without the photo placeholder, but you can edit all that, and that's your if you want to use something to promote your website. And this one's just another one. So first things first, I've preloaded up some photos into my uploads folder, but you can upload your own product images or whatever you choose. And just a tip, I'll just show you that because this is a square placeholder, usually a square type image will fit in really well, but it gets a bit tricky when you want to put in a vertical image into a square. So just say, and to load it, I'll just delete that. To load something from your uploads folder, you just simply have to drag it across and it pops it right in. So as you can see, this photo is a little bit too wide for the template. So I'll just undo that, my favorite button. And even though this one is a vertical image, if you drag that over, she actually pops in really well. And if just double click on the photo, and it'll show you how, like the actual whole photo. So if you want, you can drag it to the side, you could cut the bag off if you want, and you can see how it's easy to move the photo around. I'll just delete that. To delete that, just click on the placeholder and delete. Another one might be like these ones are quite okay, but if it gets too tricky, like say this one, you drag it over, but it actually cuts off the edge off, and even but you can't really pull it in anymore. So what you can do is I'll just delete the photo, and if you prefer, just delete the placeholder, pop that photo on, click off, and it's in. It's actually a perfect image for that square post. And these square posts, I've got an Instagram size 180 by 180 pixels, and but they're just easier to use with a square image on a square sized template. Now, if you would like to change the color of the text, this is a text box, and so if you click off, it goes away. And as you can see, sometimes when you move things, the little purple lines pop up, and they're sort of guidelines. And then sometimes you have guidelines that pop up on the edge. And see how that square guideline pops up? Well, that's sort of like a guideline for Instagram size post. You don't necessarily need to do it. And when you move things around, they actually tend to highlight. So the other way is you could go to position, and when that's highlighted, you could go center, the middle, it's already, you could go bottom, middle, and that's just another way to have it right in the center. Okay, so we'll edit the top. So I always like to click on the end and just backspace, and I might say Happy Valentine's. And so because it's a bit long, I just pull the text box out. It's a bit like editing on another software program. This has gone to lowercase, but if you go to the small a, big A, you can make it into uppercase, and it's just sort of changed the length of the text box. 56 is the actual size of the text. We could make it 28. You can make it whatever size you like. We'll go back to 56. or you can go over and type like the number as well, and that'll make it smaller. It's in Open Sans, so if you do the drop down box, it gives you loads and loads of options of different fonts, so you can choose whatever you want. Though the ones with the little crown are obviously the paid for fonts if you're on the free version. So I'll just go back to Open Sans Light. Now, because the A is highlighted, it's on that pink. So if I go to that, it's showing you that pink is the colour of that text box. Now, I might want to make it black, and I've got my saved branding colours in my Canva portfolio, but if you go to the coloured box, you can sort of move around and it'll change the text as colour as I'm moving around. Now, just say I don't want red, I'll click on green and it'll do the same. The other thing is, as just say I like that green, it comes up with a thing called a hex code, and that green hashtag or hex code is 43E80 or 80A. And you can actually add that into your branding if you want to keep that colour, or just write it down somewhere if you've got the free version. But I'll just click back on and I'll go to my pink. Same goes for the website. You just do exactly the same with that text box. So we'll just go down to these ones. You can slide in. Same thing, you edit the text box. This one it's actually from the frame. So if you go to Elements and type in, or go to Frames, you see all. It's like a photo placeholder with just sort of like a little bit of a design with it. You can choose multiple designs, circles, letters, numbers. So I'll just X out of that and go to Uploads. So, you can pop in something like that. This, to change the colour, just click on the text box, and the photo is actually that one, and the colour of the text box is that square. So if I click on it, I might want to make that black. And then you can also change the colour of the font. You go to the A, and I might make it pink. You can also bold the font. You can italics it. There's so many options. You can actually make the lettering wider, tighter. You can make the lines higher and lower. That's with the arrow option there. And same with the arrow. That's just from the Elements tab, which you go to Elements, and I might type in here arrow, W, and lots of different arrows pop up. Same thing, if it's a pro, it'll have the crown. If not, it's a free option, and I might make that my hot pink as well. The sail is also editable. You can edit the word. So hang on, I'll click across. So I might say fun. I can edit the colour to whatever I want. I can edit these colours, so just by clicking on the outside I can make that just say black. If I want to make the arrow, I can make it green. And so it's fairly simple and easy to navigate. This is from, if I go to Elements, it's just, I think you type in line and it pops up, and you can change the colour of that as well to whatever you like. And that's just another one I've added in. So I think I've covered everything so far, but that just gives you a little bit of an idea of how to edit your templates. And just one more thing, this is also another frame with the photo place card in it. You can see as I click on it, the black comes up, and they've used grey on a few different areas. So I could, if I wanted to, change it to pink, which I don't know actually what is pink. Just say I want to make it a pink computer. I can go to Uploads, and I'll put in the car should fit perfectly. You can change, if just move the text box, click on that ripped paper element. I could make that hot pink, drag the text box down. I might want to make that sort of pink instead. I'm a bit of a pink girl at the moment. So the options are quite, there's a lot to fiddle around with, but it's actually quite easy. So I hope that's helped you. And if you have any issues, feel free to email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.